Lightning Hour, an hour-long energy drink for your mind.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. This is our first episode, and we are so excited. Our show will be featuring inspiring people, interesting stories, and so much fun, so get ready.
3 hosts, 3 very different perspectives. We are Sasha Kerbel,
Rico Anderson,
and Rachelle Henry.
Prepare yourself for 60 minutes of high-voltage conversation.
And get ready to supercharge your brain.
Because it's time for...
The Lightning Hour! What's up, ladies? How's it going?
Going good. Been busy. I'm getting ready to do a panel for Gen Z Social Summit and Young Artist Academy. They have something called the ENT Bash, short for Entertainment Bash, and I'm going to be doing a panel about personal branding. So I'm doing that on Saturday, and I'm super excited.
That's so cool.
Into that, I'm always looking to up the branding, of everything that we do in this business. So,
well, I'm preparing for a very important audition. I was in negotiating with a Spanish film director, and so I cannot disclose all the details right now, but I'm very, very excited. And it's going to be an international collaboration, so that's super cool. And how about you, Rico?
Well, for myself, and that's awesome news, Sasha. Congratulations on that. This is the summertime, and we're in sci-fi con season. So normally around this time of the year, we usually have a lot of different sci-fi cons, like San Diego Comic-Con being one of the biggest ones, and Star Trek Las Vegas. Those aren't happening now because of the world that we're currently living in. The world of social distancing and COVID-19. So a lot of these events have been canceled, but a lot of these events are now online, virtual events. So I am going to be a part of many of them, including a Star Trek con, just like what you did, Rachelle. It's called Virtual Trek Con, and it's going to feature myself plus a bunch of amazing actors from all different genres of Star Trek and the Orville and all sorts of different sci-fi genres, mostly Star Trek. So I'm doing that. I'm also a part of a couple of panels for San Diego Comic-Con as well. So very busy on that end. And of course, the newest project as well is what we're all a part of right here is the Lightning Hour.
Right.
Yeah.
That is really, really exciting.
It is exciting. I'm so excited for this first show. And I'm excited for our first guest on our first show, which is recording artist Cameron Nino. Cameron Nino is a Gen Z music visionary, environmental and social justice advocate, and student athlete also. His favorite instruments are the cello, the electric guitar, both of which he plays really, really well. And he's also a member of the Malibu High School basketball team.
And something really exciting about Cameron is that some of the venues he's performed at Carnegie Hall in New York. He's performed for his school orchestra, 3 Grammy functions at the El Rey and the Roxy. I mean, that's huge. Family concerts, so many events. This kid's performed at some big things.
And in his spare time, Cameron plays Fortnite and other video games. His favorite movies are the Marvel series featuring the Avengers. So get ready. Cameron will join us very, very soon.
In the meantime, we will listen to his song, Ice Cream.
I'ma take you off the grid, girl. Let's go get some ice cream. Nice drink, budget ice cream. Nice dream. I've been thinking about you. I've been waiting, baby. Crazy feeling going through you and me, baby. I'ma take you off the grid, girl. Let's go get some ice cream. Nice drink, budget ice cream. Nice dream. I've been thinking about you.
We are back, and please welcome our guest, Cameron Nino, musical artist, producer, songwriter, environmental and social justice advocate, and student athlete. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Hi.
Doing great. Welcome to the show, man.
It's great to be here. I'm very excited.
We met Cameron at a beautiful event that celebrated the launch of his recent album, Out, which was held at an absolutely mind-blowing venue, which is Sophie Stadium in Inglewood, California. And Rico and Rachelle happened to be the hosts of the event. And you guys were incredible, by the way. And we had a total blast. Cameron, that was a wonderful event, right, guys?
I mean, it was amazing, and it was amazing getting to do that for you and to get to present your song and its message and help introduce it to the world and give it a great kickoff. So we had such a great time. I loved doing it, and I loved your music.
It was a lot of fun to do. I was actually surprised when I heard that you guys were the ones who were doing it. I was like, yo, how do we do this? I was like, how do we pull this one off? And so I was pretty pumped up to hear that you guys are going to be hosting a thing. It was very exciting for me.
Thank you.
I feel that way whenever I do anything from acting on stage. You know, I'm like, how am I going to pull this off? So,
right.
It's great when you can do events like that, because so many things are unexpected, but the main goal is to promote the product and have a good time. Always have fun, and just listening to your music beforehand and just reading up on what type of person you were, it already reassured that it was going to be a great evening. So we were very impressed by the song Fake News. And we're just wondering, like, when did you write the song? And also, what made you inspired to write Fake News? And also from that, what are some of those fake news points that you touch on, and what made you want to create a song called Fake News?
It was back in 2015, 2016, I believe. My father was watching a lot of news. Like, I mean, like, a lot. Like, it was unnecessary amounts of, like, news he was watching. And so every night I'd be, like, looking at the TV while my dad was, like, watching some random news show, like the whole presidential race that was going on at the time. And so a lot of people at the time were saying fake news, especially Donald Trump. He one of his key phrases, of course, is fake news or whatever. You know, he always says that. And so I was like, that's a cool phrase, or that's a cool name for a song. I want to try making something that sounds like that. So I took this whole newsreel of just a bunch of different news reporters talking, chattering, put it underneath the song, had a simple melody line, and I just wanted to go ham with, like, the way I would make the lyrics come together and everything. That's what I really wanted to focus on for that. And so my point of Fake News was more of that, what can we believe? What can we trust at this point in time? When everything is in front of you on a screen, what is there that we can focus on and know is the truth?
Especially right now with everything going on in the world, like right now with coronavirus, and also with the new civil rights movement happening right now, with everything going on. Like, what are your thoughts on that, even in connection to your music and how you present those topics?
The way I present these topics most of the time it's an inspiration that comes from the people, or what I hear, what's around us. Of course, the death of George Floyd was what inspired me to make my latest song. But what is really heartbreaking about it is that, especially in my generation, we didn't really see racism like there, you know what I'm saying? Like, we weren't there like 1960s, 1970s. To us, this is history.
Right.
All this racism, it's history. That's what it should be. And
Right.
it should still be right now. So when you see stuff like this going on still, it's just heartbreaking. Especially with police brutality, like, the people who are supposed to protect and serve us are the people that we're most scared of, because they have absolute control of our lives in that moment. We have nothing. It's out of our hands. So with all this stuff going on, the protests and everything, although I don't think it's our right to loot or riot and break things up, I do believe that with this happening, it's going to make a change of some sorts. Something's going to have to change.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It's the moment when the history takes its turn.
Yeah.
And we all evolve from what's happening right now. But so let's talk about your newest song, I Can't Breathe. Can you tell us about it?
The song I Can't Breathe, to me, is very personal in a sense, just because it comes from, of course, the inspiration of it was, of course, the death of George Floyd, everything that's going on. I've seen it a lot after elementary school, which is when I graduated from, after I graduated from elementary school, was really the first time that I seen racism the way it is now. Like, this is the first time I really heard about all the deaths of different Black people to police and everything. And it was very heartbreaking to hear. And it was the first time that I really was like noticing my own skin color, because back in my school, no one cared about skin color back in like my elementary school. No one cared. It didn't matter. Like, it was just another thing about us, something that made us a little different, but it wasn't something that was bad. And so with I Can't Breathe, I wanted to really make a point about how it's not okay, how we police officers should see every life as an important life. You can't be a police officer and be more scared for your life than the person that you're supposed to protect. You see? That was the main point of I Can't Breathe. You should not, that's not how the thought process of that should work.
Right. And we will see the fragment of this song right now, but also we wanted to ask you, where can people find this song?
You can find I Can't Breathe on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, anywhere that you can stream music. You can find my song I Can't Breathe by Cameron.
Thank you so much. And now let's watch the clip.
Hear the cries of the people, the pain of the victims. You see how we living, taking our lives. Man, y'all are murdering, killing me, scared of men. And we get mad and protest, using your power against us. Talking about we can just trust you, we cannot trust you. Talking about justice, this is not justice, man. We are Americans, fuck the skin. It's what's within. Hand on the Bible, spinning these lies. Don't get fooled by wolves in sheepskin. I cannot breathe, I cannot breathe, oh. I cannot breathe, let me go. I cannot breathe, oh, no. I cannot breathe, let me go.
They say they do it to protect us, through pepper spray and tear gas. You think they really care about us? They only care about the broken glass. The louder we are, the more attention we get. So scream out his name, the others that fought for this. God! Why'd you take him? Why did you break him? The countless other lives that you've taken. Defiance of those who are silent. Your silence will drown out the sirens. Compliance of those who keep hiding. Your silence will drown out the sirens.
Who started the fires? You got the nerve, protect and serve? Y'all are liars. My heart's on the floor, drowning in sirens. We were so patient, hiding in silence. Yeah, we was quiet, but now that we loud, you attacking the crowds. You proud? Trying to take my power, punking us down. You acting like cowards. Families are crying, people are dying.
Where did you write your first song, and do you remember how it all started for you as a songwriter?
My first song was when I was about 8 years old. It was the first time I wrote an actual song. I was always interested in music and how to make it, but like I was learning a lot more about like, you know, how to play guitar, how to sing, how to rap and do all that stuff. And so when I first wrote a song, I was like 8 years old. It was about like a few months after I started playing guitar. And it was called Back in the Day. And the reason why I have a smile on my face about this is because I remember it was a Crazy Frog remix. And it was me just playing like the guitar singularly while rapping over it. And it was like, I remember it was just a lot of, it was talking about like dinosaurs, like, and it went like all over the place. But I remember that was the first song that I talked about like going green and being healthy, being egotist, like being aware of our ecosystem, you know. That was the first time that I was really aware of that. And so I think that's basically where it sprouted from. That's where basically when I was like, yeah, let's like get into this whole, let's go green, let's go healthy, you know, let's save the planet. That's where that really came from.
When I hear you say things like, I just kind of went for it, went freestyle and singing, and it reminds me of how, like, as artists, you know, we throw things out there. We throw it all on the table. When we're writing, we write whatever comes to mind. If we write, if we can't think of anything as we're writing, we write, I can't think of anything, you know, we just keep it moving, and then we edit it, and then we create it, and then we mold it, and then it becomes the art piece that we currently have. So, you know,
definitely, that's a fun thing about writing, you know, making a song or making even like lyrics. Like even if you don't have like a beat to go over, making lyrics is one of the most fun things to do. Just because like you can write about literally anything. Like I see a red cup on the floor, which I'm gonna pick up in a minute. But like I could write about a red cup that's on the floor, and then depending on how I align my words and make the beat, then do everything together, it's a good song, you know?
Right.
That's definitely the most fun and like creative part about being a musician, is just having the freedom to write whatever you want and make whatever you want. That's what's fun.
I look forward to the to your next album that has the hit Red Cup on the Floor.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking of the music video, like how I would direct the red cup on the floor.
Not gonna lie, it's probably gonna be a hit. It's gonna be pretty
Yeah.
good.
Absolutely. Believe that.
You know, I joke, but I was actually very serious about that. I look
I'm
forward
not
to
joking. You're gonna see it in the next
Nobody's joking here. It's a very serious show.
it. Oh, you heard it first here on the Lighting Hour. One of your big hits, Red Cup on the Floor. I love
Cup on the Floor coming out next year.
it. There you go. Hey, what artists influence your musical taste?
That is honestly such a difficult question, just because there's a lot of music I listen to.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I listened to a lot of classical music when I was a kid, Beethoven, Mozart, Bach, a lot of those people. And then I grew up listening to a lot of rock as well. So Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Black Sabbath, all of them. And then, of course, my peers brought in all the rap and new stuff to me. You know what I'm saying? 𝐄𝐏𝐃. Well, 𝐄𝐏𝐃's lyrical as heck. But if we're going to talk about like new rappers, like Little Baby and all the babies for days and all of them. So that's basically where my inspiration came from, you know, just listening to all these different musics, all these different genres, and trying to combine them together.
Right. So how old were you when you did your first ever performance? And do you remember it and exactly like how it felt the first time you were ever performing?
I remember actually, I was 7 or 8 years old. And I believe it was this like, I was taking guitar lessons at the time, right? And my guitar teacher was like, hey, Cameron, so I'm putting this little thing together with a bunch of like, of my different students, and it's going to be at the Federal in NoHo. And I was like, oh, it's my time. I get to finally, been working on this for months. I was like, it's my time, you know? So it was a fun experience just because I was a kid. And so, you know, I was kind of new to it, but I don't think I really felt fear because I think it was, the reason why I didn't feel fear was because the whole time I was staring dead into my mic. I didn't look into the crowd, nothing, just dead into my mic, cross-eyed. Like that was how I stayed focused on like what I was doing. Because if I'm not gonna lie, my heart was pounding when I got on stage. I was nervous. I seen like my parents in the back going like, let's go, Kim. I was like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Can't mess this up. And so that was the first time I ever performed. So it was pretty fun and interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Do you still feel nervous every time you go on stage, or that is gone?
Yeah, no. Nervousness, I feel like, is a part of life. Like, it's not something you're supposed to get rid of. It's something that you should be using the channel to make your music better. Because to me, it's like, if I'm nervous on stage, right, that means I didn't do my job preparing. That's what it means. That means I wasn't ready for the show. But if I feel nervous in a way where I'm like, I'm about to like smash this, you know what I'm saying? This is gonna be fun. There's so many people here. If I'm that type of nervous, that means I'm gonna smash the show because I'm ready for the show.
Right.
Speaking of nervousness while performing, I mean, you've performed at Carnegie Hall. That's a huge deal. How old were you when you did that? And do you remember what it felt like to be at such an iconic venue?
I was 15, And I went with my school orchestra because I remember that was the first time I was like, I'm playing cello, guys. I was like, Dad, Mom, I'm playing cello. I'm going to do it. And so my school orchestra took me out to New York. I was like, oh, shoot. I was like, I wasn't prepared for this. I was like, I'm not ready. I haven't refined my skills enough, you know? And I remember going in there and I was just like, we were in like the hallway, the back room, you know what I'm saying? I just see like the stage, like I was scared because I've never played cello on such a big stage before. I was like, oh my God. It was like doing a first performance all over again. And I remember I just walked over there. I looked into the crowd and this place was big as hell. Like it was enormous. Like I didn't expect it to even be that big. Like it was honestly one of the most insane and fun experiences though. Yeah, it was pretty nerve-wracking, not gonna cap.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to perform with any artist from any era, including Bach, by the way, who would it be? Just one.
Wow, this hurt because you just said Bach. You like included like a whole like 3 other centuries. Like that's kind of difficult. Yeah.
You want to make it easy?
Yeah, that's like 3 centuries of artists. Like I don't know which one I'm supposed to choose, to be honest.
Well, let's say the last 100 years.
Thank you. Now that makes it simple. Probably Jimi Hendrix, just because I feel like that would be such like a lit experience, honestly, because I would get to learn so much of like just his guitar style and then the way he was kind of just fearless on stage. He just do it. Like I watched his old performances, right? And the way he just performed was actually like so just fearless. He just did whatever he felt like, you know? You could tell like he enjoyed it to the maximum. And like that's something I really want to experience on stage. Just like
you have
fearlessness, you know? Like to just enjoy myself to the point of like I will throw my guitar out into the crowd and I will not cry or be scared to do it, you know? That's the type of fearlessness I'm talking about.
Yeah, rock on.
One day I'm just gonna bring my guitar on stage, you know.
Well, you have a lot of people, you know, obviously followed in Jimmy's footsteps, and you see that influence and that thought and that feeling of wanting to do whatever and just that freedom. I mean, you know, you think of people like you think of Prince, you think of just the different types of styles and just the way they carried themselves on stage and just delivered that I'm going to be me no matter what attitude. So, you know, Jimmy was definitely of that genre. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
You okay. Yeah.
That kind of hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot about Prince for a second there.
Oh, no. Don't worry, man. Hey, listen, you know, Prince, I don't think there's not an artist alive who can credit Prince for just everything that he's contributed to music and all the people that he has influenced today, you know, even today. So we're going to watch another clip of another song, and we'll be right back. So everybody enjoy this.
Nino! Fake news, fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news, cause fake news makes fake truths, and fake truths make fake use. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news, cause fake news makes fake truths, then fake truths make fake use. I'm laying in bed pondering about this. How did the whole damn world turn out like this? With fake news, fake news, fake shoes. Can't forget about them fake shoes. I am the captain, so that cannot happen. I'm checking the time, it's 11:11. I wish for the best, cause I gotta get rest, because all this fake news put beliefs to the test. Lying, conniving is not a regret. Turning my TV off, going to bed, thinking about all the things that I just heard. Man, that's for the birds. Meditate, get our head straight. Ain't no time to procrastinate, cause if we do, it might be the last time we ever do. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news, cause fake news make fake truths, then fake truths make fake use. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news, cause fake news makes fake truth, and fake truths make fake use. Mercy, 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 mercy us. News is always trying to get to us, always trying to gain our damn trust, trying to feed us fake truths, Ain't no time to feel pity though, cause the news is by you, on your low. It's on your phone, on the shows, on your lap, and on the TV, by the wall. It's up to us to find the truth, break the chains and set us loose. Go out and see the light that you played over the idea. Now man, know thyself Ain't no time to doubt yourself. You gotta learn your own truth and carry out your own plan. Cause I've been looking for the light, it ain't looking too bright. Oh, I've been searching for the truth, I don't know where to look. Oh yeah, I've been searching for the light, it ain't looking too bright. I've been looking for the truth, I don't know where to look. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news. Cause fake news make fake truths, and fake truths make fake news. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news. Cause fake news make fake truths, and fake truths make fake news. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news. Cause fake news makes fake truths, and fake truths make fake news. Fake news, then fake news. I'm sick of all this fake news. Cause fake news make fake truths. Fake truths make fake news.
We are back with our guest, Cameron Nino. Now, let's talk a little bit about your social justice and your activism, because I know that you're very involved with the 0 Hour Initiative. And I know that that was founded by a lot of kids that are in the Gen Z generation, which we're both a part of. We're both Gen Z. So could you tell us a little bit about how you got started in that and about 0 Hour?
Yeah, of course. Like I said before, my first song was called Back in the Day. And I remember writing it because I heard a lot about what was going on and that people should be going green. And I agreed, of course, because I see that, because living now is scary. And especially in this world, if you think about it, with all the things, like all the trash you see in pictures and videos, all these new fish getting, strangled, they're getting polluted. Skies or the clouds are getting darker and darker, and you don't know. And again, like fake news, you don't know if it's a rain cloud or just a pollution cloud at this point. And so that's what really inspired me joining 0 Hour, because I wanted to contribute in any sort of way I could. I still need to go out and pick up trash for myself, because I feel that's also an important part of helping the planet, doing everything and anything possible to save our planet by any means. And again, as I always say, if everyone chips in, eventually this problem will completely eradicate itself.
I love that. That's awesome.
And I feel that in every generation, we're always going to be ignorant about something. We're going to learn something new, and then we're going to be ignorant. Even Gen Z, we can't be perfect. We can't fix all problems. There's going to be something one day that they're going to pop in our face and going to be like, yo, so we have this big problem that we kind of just ignored for, a few hundred years. And now it's just, kind of destroying the planet. And it's going to be something completely new, or it's just going to kill humans. And I mean, like, we were even ignorant about coronavirus when we first heard about it. Because I remember being in school and all my friends would make jokes about it. I would make jokes about it too. I'm like, yeah, there's no way that's going to happen to America. We're America, you know what I'm saying? And so now that there's a big pandemic, I'm like, what else is there out there that we don't know of just yet, just lurking, ready to just, end everything. The reason why racism lasts for so long is because, to me, it's a bunch of different opinions formulated over a long period of time.
Yeah.
For example, I know some of my friends, they talk about it, but they don't really know about it, like they haven't been really included about it in it, And even me, it's not like I have been in a life where I was told, yeah, you can't eat here because it's a white only place, it's not like I lived through that. I haven't lived through anything like that or anything similar to that. But I can learn from history, and even history is not enough for us. We can't look back at history and make that our guideline. We have to forge our own path to figure out what's going on. That's what I'm saying, because like I said, what's happening now is going to have to make an eventual change, especially with the pandemic going on. Something's going to have to change so nothing like this ever happens again. So it's a very difficult conversation to have, just because there's too much to talk about. There's a lot to talk about.
What other organizations are you currently involved with today?
I haven't been involved in any other organizations besides 0 Hour.
Okay.
Do I want to be involved in other organizations? Yes, but another thing about organizations for me is that when I go through, I have to go through it and read everything myself and see if that's exactly how I feel about a certain situation. Because I could say, yeah, I want to promote Black Lives Matter. I'm just going to join a random organization. But if I don't really know everything that they're promoting and everything that they're saying, then it's not really any purpose for me joining the organization because I can't full-heartedly back it, you know?
Yeah, so we would like to listen one of your older songs, On the Floor.
Oh.
And then we'll be back, and I want us to talk a little bit more about that song. We'll be back.
So, this song, Cameron, On the Floor, it was released a couple of years ago. And it was released at a time when you were the leader of the band Seventh Nova. Is that correct?
Brings back memories.
Good memories?
Great memories.
Awesome.
This song, that whole band was probably it was a lot of fun. It was like a bunch of people coming together. We rehearsed like every Sunday consistently for like 3 years. So it was a lot of like work because I remember I wasn't going to like basketball games. I was crying and stuff, you know, it was pretty bad. It was getting a little dramatic over on my side as this 10-year-old. But I remember it was a lot of fun because it was one of the times where I got to be with a lot of people and we just made a bunch of music, you know, some songs, random songs, Google it, wanted to keep it up. There were a lot of different songs, and it was a lot of fun. It was a great time.
Now, I know that with your song On the Floor, you also did a shout out to createnow.org. And I know that you're very, active in different causes, and you're very passionate, of course, like in environmental and, all of that. So it's interesting. Can you talk a little bit about your collaboration with them and how that came to be?
Create Now. I remember the first time I really went to Create Now. It was funny because I was very adamant about the group because, don't get me wrong, it was just back in the day. I got a girlfriend because I went to Create Now, and I went to this little camp that they were throwing, and it was a lot of fun. And I met my first girlfriend back then. And I remember I was like, I love Create Now. I was 10 years old or something. But also the message that they were promoting was very beautiful to me. And I was very excited. And my parents also knew them, also knew the organizers of the program. And so when I made On the Floor, I remember I was just like, I'm just going to include this line right here because I also feel that it's an important message to get fixing ghettos, creating new homes, helping a lot of people. There's a lot of different messaging behind that. And so when I created On the Floor, I included that for a positive message in the end because I'm going to need everyone on their feet. It's a big dance party, and it's like a dance party with the world in a sense, with everyone. So that was definitely the positive message behind that one.
Yeah, and it's such an upbeat song. I love this song. It's like one of my morning songs right now that I discovered it. So with that band, Seventh Nova, you were the youngest member of it, right? So how did it happen? Did they find you or did you create the band?
I created the band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember I told my dad, I was like, hey, Dad, it's cool to perform alone, but I want to have some people to perform with. And so my dad was like, okay, if you want to, you shall receive. He did that whole thing, and then he made a whole band. And I think it was also with some of the people from that rock thing for my first performance. And it just came together very fast, honestly. And then I think the first project we did was with an organization called Club 42, which helps kids from inner city kids come out play basketball, different sports, baseball. Baseball mainly because of Jackie Robinson. That's why I was loved it too. And I remember I made a song. It was a mashup. It was called. And that was the first time we really made a big project with Seventh Nova. And so that's my first early memories of like Seventh Nova. I'm trying to like remember, but it was like back in like 6th grade, so it's kind of difficult for me.
Well, I know that your band performed at an event honoring legendary journalist Larry King.
Yeah.
So and now how did that whole thing come about? And what do you remember most from that event? Did you have an opportunity to sit with Mr. King and talk with him?
The second time I met Mr. King. First time was at this like dog wash event, and I performed there. And then the second time, which was at what we're talking about, was a pre-Grammy show. And basically just a bunch of different artists were invited to perform some of their songs that they admitted to the Grammy Academy. Mm-hmm. I was one of those artists that was chosen. I think it was about a year ago. And from what I remember from Larry King was that he was just very like knowledgeable, you know? He seems very intellectual, like when I was talking to him. Just the way he speaks and the way he carries himself is very different from other people.
I mean, that's a huge deal, getting to do that. And speaking of huge deals, and this one I'm going to geek out about because I'm a huge fan. I know that you've worked with Sheldon Reynolds of Earth, Wind & Fire. I'm a huge Earth, Wind & Fire fan. I've seen them tour with Chicago 3 times. I'm a huge fan. So, I mean, I'm geeking out about that. Could you tell us a little bit about, like, how you met and how, working together, your working relationship?
I remember meeting him the first time. I don't remember how we got connected. I just remember my dad telling me one day, he was like, cheating. He was like, we got Sheldon Reynolds. And I was like, Sheldon Reynolds? And he was like, yeah, Earth, Wind & Fire. I was like, Earth, Wind & Fire. He was like, yeah. I was like, you said Earth, Wind & Fire. He was like, yeah.
Gulp. Yeah.
I was pretty sure you said Earth, Wind & Fire properly. I was like, I don't know if you're tripping or like what's going on with your head or like if there's something wrong, you got hit in the head today. And he was like, all right, stop that. We're going to go rehearse with him. And I was like, we're rehearsing with Earth, Wind & Fire. He said, yes, all right. And so we went there and I saw him and he was I was so excited. You don't even understand. I was like over here jumping. I was like 12 or something like that. I was like, oh my God, Earth, Wind & Fire. I was like, let's get it. And so I remember he actually was the one who taught me a lot of stuff. Like he taught me some of the courses in September. And I remember having just a lot of fun because we were jamming at a show for like an hour straight. Just on like, I think it was September and we were just jamming because those were like the one chords that I like really knew well because I really like September. It's like my favorite song from them, even though it's a little basic. I love September. And so he was very knowledgeable. The way he spoke was like similar to Larry King, like very just intellectual. And it was honestly like an inspiring experience because I remember he was like giving me so many like good quotes. He was like giving me like such like good encouragement. He was like, Cameron, you're doing so well at such a young age. You can do it. You're great. And like you get that from Earth, Wind & Fire, that's when you're like, it's time. It's not time. That's when you know.
Were you actually born with this extraordinary ability? Whatever instrument you touch, you like make it really easy for you to play that, to learn how to play that and effortlessly? Or there is a secret to that, like to be passionate enough about music and that will allow you to spend hours practicing. So what was the deal in your case?
Well, I mean, I'm just blessed, I guess. Every instrument I just automatically know how to play. No, I'm just playing. That's a joke. No, it's definitely like music translates itself between different instruments. Learning guitar, that took me a few years, but I mean, it was pretty easy. Like, it wasn't like the most difficult experience I had, but because I practiced it every night. And so it was the way I picked it up was very fast. But then after that, when you translate it to different musical instruments, it becomes a whole lot easier because you know basic music theory. So you know how to get your way around different things. After a while, like once you really start loving something, you're going to want to do it, That's when it becomes easy. Like I loved guitar. So that's when I was like, oh, I can put in an hour like it's nothing. It doesn't feel like anything. It's when, in a sense, where you don't want to do it, that becomes difficult. But even then, you still learn it, because if someone puts you through it, you know, eventually you're going to be like, okay, this is how you do that. Even if you didn't want to learn it, you're going to learn it. You know, it's like going to school. For me, I don't personally want to be in a certain class, but my teachers force me to be there. I learn and I pick up the notes. Eventually, I don't want to fail the class. So eventually you pick it up.
You're also an athlete. And talking about that, would you say that you're as equally talented an athlete as you are a musician? And do you kind of combine the two in life, or do you focus on one or over the other? Or
in a day, you have a lot of time. You know, a lot of time can go both to music and basketball. And when it comes to making music, it comes from inspiration or passion, stuff like that. And so usually making a song doesn't take me very long, just because I know what I want to do with it. Unless I'm like reaching in and I'm like, I have no clue and I'm just bored, then it takes countless hours. But like, I spend hours on music just because I find it interesting and fun. So that's why my ideas take me longer to write down or make. But with basketball, it's very interesting because although I started late when it came to basketball, but I was kind of athletic. You know, I was a bit tall for my age. My parents are both very athletic. My mom especially, she's a crazy athlete when it comes to different things. And so it was a bit easier for me to pick up basketball. But I wouldn't say it's a split in time, because there's plenty of hours in a day to do whatever I feel like doing, you know? And for a kid, a lot of their time in the day goes to watching videos, YouTube, going into the pool, swimming and doing all that. But there's plenty of time to do that on top of basketball and music. There's just so many hours in a day that it makes it easy.
Especially now, because it feels like time is just running at a long, you don't know what day it is. But also, along with all of that, you're also a gamer, and also you love Fortnite. So can you tell us a little bit about your gaming, about how good at Fortnite you are, any tricks for your audience, any tips?
Let's just say that with Fortnite, I actually took a break from it for like a year and I came back to it. You know, I had to pick up my skills again, but you know, I'm pretty godly. When it comes to Fortnite, you know, put in the hours, just like guitar and basketball. I put in hours into that game, you know, you just give it up. Plenty of money too. So after a while, you know, you're going to force yourself to play the game. But when it comes to Fortnite, the only thing is you just got to practice, you know what I'm saying? It's the same with everything. It's just like countless hours of practice. I don't personally put in countless hours to become like a pro gamer, just because I tried it for a little bit, because I was like, I'm done with everything. I want to become a gamer. You know, I had that little phase in my life. And so I was like going to be a streamer for like about 2 months. And then I was like, damn, this is tough. You know, I'm getting whooped every game. I'm just getting sick of this 8 hours a day. And my eyes are dried up. And I'm like, so I kind of like cut that. But I used to be like an avid gamer. Like I still am. I play a lot of games, but I used to be bad. It was like an addiction.
Do you have any chores assigned to you at home?
Yeah, of course. I couldn't get away from those. You know, taking out the trash, doing some dishes, cleaning up the floors while my mom is laying down. You know, kind of like a maid sometimes. It's a little, you know, unbelievable when I think about it. But it's nice, you know. It's time to relax and think about myself.
What about laundry? Do you do laundry?
Yes, I do my laundry.
Do you love folding the laundry?
I do fold the laundry, just because my mom got sick of that. She said,
I hear her. I'm sick of that so much.
the reason why I do my laundry is because my mom told me that my clothes stink because I play basketball a lot. And so she was like, I'm sick of this. You're going to do it yourself. So I started doing my own laundry. That's basically how that happened.
this is very important, so I want you to really think about what I'm about to ask you, okay? Who would you say, in your expert opinion, is your favorite Avenger? You know the lineups. You know who's out there.
I know who it is.
Okay.
It is. Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the best Avenger. He has the best superpower out of any Avenger. Like, he can cling onto buildings and swing. What else could you ask for?
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Who wouldn't want to do that? You see his new costume? It's literally fire.
Dude, he's got like tons of them.
Exactly. I would love to wear it.
Which of the last like movie versions of Spider-Man, who is your Spider-Man?
Right.
This is like Miles Morales. He has the coolest outfit by far. He wears Jordans. He literally wears Jordans onto the job. Like, no other Spider-Man has that swag. I'm sorry.
You know, Miles Morales, it's great that you brought that up. Miles Morales is actually such I love his character, and I love what the Marvel franchise has done with him. I remember taking my niece and my 2 nephews to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do it is because my nephew Loyal, going back to speaking about my nephew, he reminded me so much of Miles Morales. And you know, I'm a huge fan of the fact that representation matters. And when you see yourself represented on the big screen, on the small screen, even in music, that's so important to young people, and because you see that and you become inspired by what you see, because you're seeing bits of yourself, if not just from your look. I mean, the look, the way the way he's dressed, the issues that he's going through, and I always felt like Spider-Man was the perfect template, the perfect person to embody that, because even Peter Parker was he was that troubled teen going through life and just the things that a teen would go through, and in essence it's his puberty in essence was like his spider powers, and he had to deal with that and go through that, and they revisited that the same with Miles Morales. And I even remember Stan Lee doing an interview speaking on that, and just seeing that it sends a very powerful message in terms of that representation. So I love that answer, and I love the fact that you brought out Miles Morales as in that respect.
When like watching that movie, for a lot of people, it gave like no boundaries for like who can be behind the mask. Like even at the end of the movie, anyone could be behind the mask.
Yes.
And it was just a good representation for everyone. There was a girl Spider-Man. I mean, a pig can be Spider-Man now because, you know, as you know, there's a pig in the movie.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a Spider-Man, and it was a very good representation. It made everyone happy. I mean,
such a great movie. Such a great movie.
Yeah, it's my favorite movie of all time right now, actually.
A lot of people say it's the best Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
It is the best Spider-Man movie. Like, questions asked, they did it so well. Like, it's such like it was such a way. Especially the art style of it was so fascinating.
I've had a lot of people tag me on Instagram, and they're like random people I don't even know. They tag me and they're like, "You should play Gwen Stacy," and I'm like, "Marvel, hire me."
Yeah, no, most definitely. I would actually love to see you in that role. I would love to see it. I feel like that would be very cool to watch that happen. I'm not gonna lie.
That goes back to that representation. I remember my nephew's friends, my nephew Loyal's friends. He saw them up there at the theater, and everyone was looking at him going, "Loyal, he looks like you. He looks like you." And when I heard that, I was like, "Proud uncle, don't start shedding tears." But that was so important that he heard that, because again, that representation, you know, and you touched on it so beautiful that anybody could play it. You see young girls can play it. Asian girls can play it. Just anybody, all the different types of genres.
Yeah, exactly. Like Spider-Man can be anybody. Like I remember I was told, they were like, "Yo, you look like Miles Morales. You look like Spider-Man." They were like, "Yo, you look exactly like him." And I was like, "Wow, I was just told I look like Spider-Man. The Spider-Man." And that's like different, you know? That not everyone's like, I can be a web slinger, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know? Be bad guys for fun, you know? Like, I wouldn't do that, swing from buildings just because of the heck of it. Like, that sounds like fun. Like, it's definitely one of my favorite moves because of that.
It's really important. And so going back to, you know, your music a little bit, what would be some advice that you would have for, you know, people that are just starting music, especially young people that are just starting music? I mean, like, what was your, like, first guitar, or what do you recommend as your first guitar? Because, you know, of course, you're an expert in guitars, and, you know, what would be your advice for people coming up and who look up to you?
Have fun. It's not about anything else. It's just about having fun. Making music isn't supposed to be something that's supposed to be stressful or pressuring. It's supposed to be about having fun. Performing is supposed to be fun. My first guitar was a Fender Strat, I believe it was, and I still have it. And I remember when I got that guitar, like my whole face lit up. You know, I had my first guitar. I was over here bawling. You know, it was a great time. And definitely the most important thing is just having fun. Yeah. Like hanging out with friends, making music. That's such an interesting time to do. Something fun to do. It's not something that should be stressful. Like, I mean, you should have goals, of course, but I mean, having fun is very important because people see that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we're creatives, and this is a great time to continue to be creative in what we do. I mean, that's actually one of the reasons why and how the Lightning Hour came about. You know, it's being creative and finding ways to use our outlets to do what we do, especially at a time where people need this. People, they want positive entertainment. They want entertainment. They want to see what's out there, and the arts are where people are turning to in times of crisis, in times of wanting to just kick back and relax, rewind, and things like that. So, you know, what's with that said, what's next for you, man? Are you working on anything now, or anything you can speak on? Or,
I mean, to me, I'm always like working on something. Like I said before, music is for fun for me. You know, I don't want to have to be stressed about making a song at a deadline, you know? So I'm always working on some new music, not even to release, but just to have fun with and to create something that I can call my own.
For anyone who doesn't know you and who now wants to follow you and see what you're up to, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, any place that has a handle for someone for you to put in. You can find me at Cameron Nino.
All right. Cameron Nino, musical artist, producer, songwriter, environmental and social justice advocate, student athlete, future Miles Morales, maybe, Spider-Man.
And future of the world music.
Future of the music, according to just everything that we know about great music. Dude, brother, my friend, our friend, thank you so much for being our first guest, man. Thank you so much.
Honor. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Have a great summer. Enjoy, and we will be looking for your new music and for the next time we see each other.
Thank you so much again.
I'm feeling tropical. Yeah, I'm feeling tropical. Wanna vibe by the ocean, cause I'm feeling tropical. Wanna hang with my friends, chillin' beside, party all day. I'm feeling tropical. Wanna relax, man, yeah, chill out. Take a breather and think about how lovely the day is. Oh, call my friends, then we'll hang out and get some food, then relax by the ocean and vibe out. Oh, we'll put on some music, party all day, party all night, cause we vibing and vibing and vibing. Yeah, we are chilling, just relaxing mind. Maybe I'll sit by a tree, Have an apple fall on my head, I'll call it a pineapple. Cause I'm feeling tropical. I'm feeling tropical. Wanna vibe by the ocean. Cause I'm feeling tropical. I wanna hang with my friends, chillin' beside, party all day. I'm feeling tropical. I wanna lay down, put my feet up, have my shades on, with a coconut, killing time with some biddies, eating paydays, acting lazy, straight chillin'. I'm wishing that this day would never end. Cause these are the days that we pray for, these are the days that we sing for. This is the prettiest day in existence. Get rid of stress, yeah man, that is the mission. Maybe I'll lay on a tree and be daydreaming, and have an apple fall on my head. I'm feeling tropical. Wanna vibe by the ocean, cause I'm feeling tropical. I wanna hang with my friends, chillin' beside, party all day. I'm feeling tropical. Obochita mama, Obochita mama, Obochita mama, Obochita mama.